An airbag has less time to fully inflate than it takes you to blink, about 40 milliseconds, and it doesn't do it with a puff of air. It does it with a small, controlled explosion happening inches from your face. That sounds terrifying, but the timing is the whole point. Too slow, and the bag arrives after your head does. Today we cut one open to see how a device the size of phone book stops a 2-ton car's worth of momentum in less time than it takes to say crash, and does it without ever plugging into a tank of gas. Most people picture an airbag like a pool float, some canister of compressed air that dumps into a nylon bag. That picture is wrong, and it's wrong in an important way. There's no tank of pressurized gas sitting behind your steering wheel waiting to be released. If there were, it couldn't fill a full-size bag fast enough to matter. What's actually hiding behind that plastic panel is closer to a tiny, precisely engineered firework, a solid chemical charge that turns almost entirely into gas the instant it's triggered. The sequence starts before you even feel the impact. Accelerometers built into the car's crash sensors are constantly measuring how fast the car is decelerating, dozens of times a second. In a real crash, that number spikes violently. The car goes from highway speed to a dead stop in a fraction of a second. The moment that spike crosses a calibrated threshold, the sensor's job is done. It fires an electrical signal to the airbag module, and the clock on those 40 milliseconds starts running. That signal hits a tiny device called an initiator, sometimes just a wire bridge and a pinch of primer, similar to the cap in a firearm cartridge. A burst of electric current heats it until it flashes, and that flash is the spark that sets off everything downstream. It's a small event on its own, but it's aimed directly at a stack of solid propellant packed into the inflator, and that's where the real gas comes from. Here's the reveal. That propellant is mostly sodium azide, a compound that, when it ignites, doesn't burn slowly like wood. It decomposes almost instantly into nitrogen gas. A few ounces of solid chemical convert into a huge volume of gas in milliseconds, the same way a firework goes from powder to fireball. That gas is nowhere to go but into the folded fabric bag sitting right on top of it, and the bag punches outward at speeds that can top 200 miles an hour. There's a safety catch inside that explosion, too. Sodium azide's leftover byproduct is reactive metallic sodium, which you do not want spraying into a car. So engineers pack in extra ingredients, oxidizers like potassium nitrate and silicon dioxide, that react with that sodium in the same instant, converting it into ordinary, harmless sodium silicate, basically a pinch of glass. By the time the bag is full, the dangerous chemistry has already finished neutralizing itself. The bag isn't meant to stay full, either. The instant it's caught your body, vent holes built into the fabric start bleeding the gas back out, so the bag deflates under you instead of bouncing you off a hard balloon like a trampoline. Inflate too early, and it's already sagging before impact. Inflate too late, and it arrives after your head does. Deflate too slowly, and it just turns into a second collision. That 40 millisecond window, and the controlled leak right after it, is the entire engineering problem. Not making the explosion, but timing it perfectly, crash after crash, car after car. So the next time someone tells you an airbag is just a burst of stored air, you'll know better. It's a tiny, chemically timed explosion, defused into harmless glass, doing its whole job in less time than a blink. It isn't gentle, and it isn't simple. It's controlled violence, engineered down to the millisecond to save your life. If that changed how you'll picture your dashboard, that's what this channel is for. Stick around, we'll keep cutting things open.